In the late 1980s and throughout the 1990s, Blockbuster wasn't just a video rental store, it was an institution. Every Friday night, millions of families crowded into its blue and yellow stores, browsing aisles of VHS tapes beneath the warm glow of fluorescent lights. It wasn't just about renting a movie, it was about the experience. Blockbuster defined what home entertainment meant for an entire generation. At its peak, Blockbuster operated more than 9,000 stores across the globe, employed over 60,000 people, and generated billions in annual revenue. It was a $6 billion empire built on convenience, accessibility, and cultural relevance, the undisputed king of movie nights. The story began in 1985, when David Cook, a Texas-based computer software entrepreneur, spotted a gap in the market. At the time, most local rental stores were small, disorganized, and inconsistent. Cook's vision was bold: a national chain that combined advanced technology, massive movie libraries, and standardized service. His model was clean, efficient, and scalable. Within 2 years, Blockbuster had expanded across multiple U.S. states, catching the attention of investors and the public alike. In 1987, Wayne Huizinga, the entrepreneur behind Waste Management Incorporated, acquired a controlling interest in Blockbuster. With corporate discipline and operational expertise, Huizinga transformed the brand from a promising startup into a retail juggernaut. He implemented barcode inventory systems, centralized distribution, and a uniform in-store experience that consumers trusted. By the early 1990s, Blockbuster had achieved what few retail brands ever could: cultural ubiquity. The smell of plastic VHS cases, the late-night rush before closing, the "Be Kind, Rewind" stickers, all became ingrained in American pop culture. The company's partnerships with major film studios and its aggressive marketing strategies solidified its dominance. At its height, Blockbuster was renting out nearly $4 billion worth of movies annually, representing both an entertainment revolution and an unbeatable business model. But like many empires, Blockbuster's success became its greatest vulnerability. Comfort replaced curiosity. The company's leadership, blinded by its dominance, failed to see the technological revolution quietly emerging beneath the surface. In 1997, Netflix was founded with a disruptive idea: DVDs delivered by mail, no late fees, no trips to the store. It was a model that challenged the very foundation of Blockbuster's business. But inside Blockbuster's executive boardrooms, digital distribution was dismissed as impractical and unprofitable. In 2000, when Netflix's co-founders Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph offered to sell their young company to Blockbuster for $50 million, then CEO John Antioco laughed them out of the room. That moment would later be remembered as one of the most infamous missed opportunities in corporate history. While Blockbuster doubled down on its physical stores and late fee structure, which accounted for a significant share of profits, Netflix was quietly building the future. Its subscription model, powered by data analytics and customer personalization, redefined convenience. By 2004, Blockbuster was still generating billions, but its foundation was cracking. The decision to abolish late fees in 2005, a move meant to modernize the brand, backfired spectacularly. Confusing policies, consumer lawsuits, and negative press eroded public trust. Meanwhile, Netflix was gaining traction, positioning itself for the next leap: online streaming. Blockbuster's leadership eventually recognized the threat, but too late. The company launched its own online rental platform in 2004, years behind Netflix. Internal divisions crippled its response. Executives were torn between defending the profitable retail empire and embracing a future that required sacrificing short-term gains. The reluctance to innovate cost Blockbuster the one thing it couldn't afford to lose: time. By 2007, broadband internet had gone mainstream, transforming how consumers access content. Netflix's streaming service, launched that same year, revolutionized entertainment. Viewers could now watch movies instantly without leaving their homes. While Netflix was designing the future of access, Blockbuster was still clinging to the past of ownership. CEO John Antioco had proposed a hybrid model, combining physical rentals, mail subscriptions, and streaming, but the board rejected his plan due to its high upfront costs. He was replaced by James Keyes, a former 7-Eleven executive, who dismissed Netflix as a niche player. Under his leadership, Blockbuster's decline accelerated. By 2010, Blockbuster's once unshakable empire was drowning in over $900 million of debt. Store closures swept the country, and the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, signaling the end of an era. The fall of Blockbuster became a case study in corporate arrogance, how a company that once dominated its industry could collapse simply by refusing to evolve. It's a reminder that in business, adaptation isn't optional, it's survival. Yet, surprisingly, the story didn't end there. When Dish Network acquired Blockbuster's assets for $320 million after bankruptcy, most believed the brand was destined for history books. But nostalgia had other plans. Among the few remaining franchises, one store in Bend, Oregon, refused to close. It would later become a global attraction, the last Blockbuster on Earth. That single store transformed into a cultural phenomenon. Tourists visited from around the world, documentaries were filmed, and social media turned it into a living tribute to the 1990s. In 2020, it even offered an Airbnb experience, allowing fans to relive the golden era of VHS and Friday nights on the couch. Blockbuster's revival wasn't technological, it was emotional. The Bend store didn't need streaming algorithms or cutting-edge innovation. It thrived on authenticity, nostalgia, and shared memory. The Blockbuster brand, once a symbol of failure, became an emblem of resilience, proof that even fallen giants can find new life through cultural legacy. Today, "Don't be the next Blockbuster" has become a universal warning in business schools and boardrooms. It's shorthand for what happens when leaders underestimate innovation, dismiss disruption, or fail to adapt to changing consumer behavior. But it's also a story of redemption, a reminder that legacies don't always die with the companies that built them. Blockbuster's fall gave birth to a new generation of thinkers, entrepreneurs who value agility, foresight, and customer focus. And as new technologies like AI, decentralized media, and virtual entertainment reshape the landscape, even today's streaming giants must heed the same warning that Blockbuster once ignored. Because in the end, the lesson remains timeless. The future doesn't wait for those who hesitate. Blockbuster's empire may have collapsed, but its story continues to teach the business world one of its most valuable lessons: evolve or vanish.